Hey everybody, this one worse than a child. I swear to you, worse than a child. Ah, anyway, good evening. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope your guys' week has been good. It is the weekend. It is Friday, so obviously it's my get together with everybody this weekend. So we got some things done today. And Sandwich, if you're not getting it, oh, you got it. Okay, all right, never mind. All right, but yeah, we're just it was you. Okay, no problem. Uh, yeah, so we're just getting things set up, get started. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day, and so that'll be a good thing, and it'll keep us all out of trouble. But right now, it's just a lot of folks out by the fire enjoying that, which is good. The road in here is a mess. But that, what are you going to do? It's that time of year, and we've had unbelievable amount of rain. It just crazy amount of rain. So she's actually going to calm down and lay down now. This dog was sitting here giving me a hard time, like yelling at me because she wanted to go back outside because people were eating and she wanted to be out there where the food was and stuff. And I'm like, no, you're not going back out. And she's like, giving me just, talking to me. So funny. But yeah, it could be worse. Could be ice and snow. You're right. No, I mean, I'm not complaining. We didn't get the rain, any rain today, so that was good. There's only like a 26% chance of rain tomorrow, which is also good. Like I said, we got plenty to do, and so we're just going to do what we got to do, and we're going to go from there. But it'll be busy. We're going to be tomorrow's going to be busy, but that'll be good. Busy's not a bad thing. So, but anyway, all right. Before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody: are you feeling bad? You look kind of tired. I'm tired. Oh, I'm not going to lie. I'm tired. You got to understand, my sleep schedule is a mess, an absolute mess. So, you know, and well, that's in one spot, JJ. We got a couple other spots. We got down like 3 inches before we hit the clay. So yeah, that happens. But no, I'm very tired. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, it's been, like I said, it's been a busy day, and and that's okay. But yeah, it's just I think I'll sleep good tonight. I hope I do anyway. So, but that's the game plan anyhow. But yeah, it's just been outside. You're out in that weather. It's like I actually got like red in my face, and I think that's just because of the cold. Outside. But yeah, what are you gonna do? So anyway, again, family friendly oriented channel. Let's be decent in the chat. If you are not, those awesome people lit up in blue will boot you out of here because we're not going to have that. Yeah, I plan on going to bed earlier tonight. I do. I'll give you guys an example, okay? And just to kind of give you an idea. This is how messed up my sleep schedule is. I went to bed at 5 this morning, and I think I was back up at 11, and just been running around ever since. So, you know, but 28 degrees up at your New York homestead. Oh, that don't surprise me. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I talked to Heather earlier. Actually, I did not get an egg count. So hold on, let me text her. Let me text her and get an egg count. All right. So hopefully we'll get that before we get to that point. But yeah, five. Yeah, it's my like I said, my sleep schedule is an absolute mess. Sometimes I go to bed at 3 in the morning. Sometimes it's 4. I've gone to bed, at 6 in the morning. A lot of times, what ends up happening, I'll have everything shut off. I'll be laying in bed, and I might be playing solitaire on my phone, and the next thing you know, hours goes by. Just it happens. But I am tired tonight, so I'm going to definitely try to get in bed at a reasonable hour, and hopefully I can get a decent night's sleep. Because, like I said, tomorrow's going to be a long day. Hot tea with honey. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't. You got to understand something, guys. I have worked nights for a majority of my career. I work night shift. And so I am used to being up at night. I'm used to being up at night. So that's normal, and I'm a night person on top of it. So if I'm not any kind of schedule, you know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning is not unheard of to go to bed. So chloroform, yeah, right. Yeah, but but yeah, that's and that's just kind of the way it's always been. And then now like this afternoon I did not take a nap, so I normally, because of my weird sleep schedule, I usually take an hour and a half to 2 hour nap in the afternoon, and that gives me that edge and gets me back on track. It's just that's like I said, that's how it. I sleep when I need to, and I tell you right now, I could go to sleep right now. And the worst part is, if I did sleep now, I'd sleep maybe an hour and a half, and I'd be up again, and then I'd be up all night. So, uh, well, it happens. What are you gonna do? But so anyway, lots to talk about. One of the things that I definitely wanted to talk about that really, really bothered me. Okay, and I know it's the liberal BS crap that goes on in this country, but we leave a Marine behind in Russia who's been locked up since 2018, and we free an athlete that hates the country, right? That won't even come out for the national anthem. So we free her. I have like so many issues with that. You have no idea, no idea. So, but yeah, it's just it, I don't know. Hubby was so pissed about the Marine being left. Oh, and then they have every excuse in the world. They have every, and so here's the other problem that I have, right? So let's talk about what my real problem is with this, okay? Not even so much that they freed her, okay? I could have cared less if she rotted all 9 years in a prison in Russia. Wouldn't have bothered me whatsoever, okay? Because she did break the law in that country. But who we traded her for, now we're talking about a government, and I want you guys to think about this. So this kind of should give you a real indication, a real indication. We have a government that wants to take away our guns, take away our rights, leave us disarmed, but they're going to free somebody that they have nicknamed the Merchant of Death because he was a arms dealer, right? They're going to release him. They're going to for her. Come on, really? you know so you have this guy who's an arms dealer, and supposedly, guns are so bad and this and that. This guy wasn't just selling guns, folks. This guy was selling all kinds of stuff. So how do we release him for her? How is that any way, shape, or form fair? And yet we leave a Marine that's been locked up over there since 2018. uh you know we we'd keep him locked up. So that's what pisses me off. They say one thing out of the front of their face, and they do something else out of the side of their face, and I can't stand that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just it's complete. And how stupid does that make us look as a country? How stupid does that make us look? You know? Yep, you're right, Patty. Yes, Trump should have gotten him out. Yep, but yeah, it's just. Well, remember, I thought, why didn't Trump get him released? Wasn't he supposed to be a Russian agent? Wasn't he supposed to be buddies with Putin? He was supposedly in his pocket. If you listen to all the propaganda that was put out there about that, oh yeah, which later on proved to be untrue. So yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. That here's the thing, and this is what it comes down to for me. I don't care if I'm a athlete, Joe average citizen, uh, the rich and the famous, or whoever the case may be. If I'm going to another country, right, where I know that they have fairly strict gun laws, right, fairly strict gun laws, or not gun laws, drug laws. I'm sorry. Am I going to go ahead and go, well, because I'm famous or I'm an athlete, I'm above the law and I'm going to do what I want to do? No, you're not. Okay, you're not going to do that. So, she felt that she could do whatever she wanted to do, and she got caught. You know, it just, I don't know. Like I said, don't get it, don't understand it. You know, it's what the if you guys ever who anybody ever see the movie Midnight Cowboy? Anybody ever see that movie? It's an older movie, really, really good movie. Okay, and this guy was trying to smuggle drugs out of I don't, was Turkey, maybe, I think Turkey, trying to get him back to the United States, I believe, and he got caught. And no, that's a different movie with Dustin Hoffman and Glenn Campbell. No, this one is it's about the guy that was Midnight Express. Thank you. Yep, yep, Midnight Express. Thank you. Yep, that's the name of the movie. And so he ended up in this Turkish prison, which was a complete hellhole. And of course, they were trying to get him out, and they couldn't get him out. And but it was a fantastic movie, and he finally escaped. He escaped and got out of there. But again, my point is this: he did it to himself, and I'm supposed to feel sorry for him because he was in this horrific prison. And you know what? That's a chance you take. That's a chance you take. That's on you. So I don't get why we coddle these athletes, these celebrity movie star type of people, and they get 101 million chances. I mean, okay, so give you another great example. All right. Now I love him as an actor now. Actually, I liked him as an actor when he was younger. Robert Downey Jr., right? Now, he's all squared away now, got off the drugs and got his life cleaned up, and he's done very, very well for himself, and good for him, okay? But how many times did Robert Downey Jr. screw up before they finally put him in prison, right? Over and over and over again. And, because he was a celebrity, they're treated differently, you know, uh, where the rest of us, they would bend us over and stick it where the sun don't shine. But because they're in that limelight and they're this celebrity, it's just like, okay, so Anne Hesh, who just died, right? Car accident. Uh, was I don't know what the toxology reports came back, but I believe, God, I think that they did come back. There was like cocaine and other things in her system. So, you know, she did it to herself. And I'm not going to feel sorry for somebody that does something to yourself. It's just like when you have, you know, you have to understand in the medical field, the drug addicts that I have dealt with throughout the years is unbelievable, right? But if you ask them, they're the victim, right? They're the victim. Poor them, poor me. Oh, life is so hard. That's why, mommy didn't hold me enough as a baby, and that's why I turned out this way. No, you turned out whatever way you turned out because of the choices that you made, period. Can life influence what happens? It can. But at the end of the day, you make a choice. Nobody forced anybody to stick a needle in their arm. Nobody ever forced anybody to, use cocaine and then decide, hey, wow, this is the greatest thing since sliced toast, and continue to use it until there is a hole in their septum of their navel cavity. Nobody ever forced them to do that. They keep doing it because they want to. Um, yeah, drugs are bad, okay? Don't do drugs. You look at Bam Margera, all right, Jackass fame. He's a mess. I heard that he just ended up he's in the hospital on a ventilator, right? And I don't know what the whole details were about it, but as soon as I saw that, first thing that came to my mind, drugs and alcohol. Because he's had this issue for a long, long time, and again, because of who he is, he gets treated with kick gloves, get a slap on the wrist, and all those type of things. So it is amazing. It is amazing. Papillon was a movie with Steve McQueen. Yep, that was good too. That's a really good movie. Really good movie. That was Steve McQueen and Dustin Hoffman in Papillon. Very, very good movie. But yeah, it's just it is amazing to me uh, that over and over and over again these people do different things, but yet they claim to be they're the victim, and it just it's I don't know, it's mind-boggling to me. You know what? And I said this before on here, guys, and I'll say it again. I made a absolute ton of bad choices when I was younger. Did all the wrong things. You know, never applied myself in high school because I just didn't care. I didn't care. You know, graduated near the bottom of my class. you know, because I'll tell you a story, and I know I probably have said this one before, but I'll say this again. I can remember being in school, and I had a teacher say to me, "Ed, did you do your homework?" And I went, "No." "Are you going to do it?" And I went, "No." And she says, "What if I call your mother?" I said, "Knock yourself out." I go, "She ain't going to make me do it either." What do you do with a kid like that? What do you do? You know what I mean? Realistically, as a teacher, what do you do with a kid like that? There's nothing you can do. There's no way you're making this kid do anything because he doesn't have to. Well, you can fail him, yeah, but then if you fail him, you get him back. You know, a kid like that boot camp. Yeah, well, that's that came later. So but yeah, it's just you know, it's choices that we make, and like I said, I didn't have the male role model that I had growing up was my grandfather. Okay, no, I graduated high school. I didn't get a GED. I graduated. I'll tell you another story. This is straight up 100% honest truth. I was in 10th grade. I figured out what my grade point average was going to be for the year at the end of the year, and it was going to be like a 63 point something. So I was going to fail, right? Going to fail English. I was in English class. So I went to my English teacher and I said to her, I said, I know what my grade ended up coming out to be. I figured it out. And I said, I go, if you fail me, if you thought this year was bad, wait till next year. Lo and behold, folks, I got my report card and I got a 65. It was amazing. It was a miracle. You know why? They didn't want to deal with me. She didn't want to deal with me for another year. I was bad enough that year. So she didn't want me back in her class for another year, you know? And that was me manipulating the system, realistically, because I was a bad kid. I was an absolutely bad kid. I was a throwaway kid. I was one of those kids that, they like, there's nothing we can do with this son of a gun, and that's probably not the word that they used. So we'll just pass him on and get him out of here, you know? Hey, Billy the Kid Norwood, thank you for becoming a beginning prepper. I appreciate that. So, those things, guys, but again, so what happened? Where was the catalyst? What was the change? Well, the change was down the road. If I could speak, it would be great. Down the road, I came to a fork in the road. And I went, okay, if I do this, I'm going this way in life. And if I do this, I'm going to go a different way. And I made a choice. I didn't like what I was doing. I didn't like where I was going. So I made a choice and I changed my direction, if you will. And so when I listen to people play the victim constantly, and it's always somebody else's fault, and they never take personal responsibility. That pisses me off because I always took personal responsibility. I was an a hole because I chose to be an a hole. When I chose not to be an a hole anymore, guess what? Then I wasn't. you know, simple, simple. It's all choices. It's all what we have. We have those options. We can do whatever we want to do, and you know, and I'll tell you what, really, really, truly. Now, I went back to school. Hey, lady kickboxer, when you realize this is a means to an end for that, and you want that, you shape up. Yeah, you have to. If you look at where you're at, you don't like what you're doing, you don't like where you're going, then you can do something to change it. When I say to you guys at the end of these videos, okay, when I say to you at the end of these videos, and I say STD, right, talk about working things methodically, it's all true. It's all true. It's all choices that we're making as individuals, where we're going to go, what we're going to do. You know, if you're out there every day and you're stealing, okay, I'm just going to use this as an example. If you're out there every day, you're shoplifting, you can get away with it 150, 200 times, you get away with it, right? And you're selling the stuff that you're stealing and you're making money to either support a habit or whatever the case may be. Well, then you get caught. You can't play the victim. But these type of people and their mentality, they do. It's somebody else's fault. It's never their fault, you know. Um, so it's like I said, it's just Edmund says you and I must be brothers. I was just the same in my name's Ed. Oh, that's cool. Hey, you never know, brother. You never know. But you know what? Like I said, we all have choices, and I always tell people this, guys. And at 27, I pulled my head out of my behind, and I don't use the word behind when I tell people that. I pulled it out. I looked at my situation. I looked at where I was at, what I was doing, and I didn't like it. And so I decided to make some changes. And I moved down south. I moved down to North Carolina, and I completely changed everything because I made a choice to. Now, was there still drugs in North Carolina just like there was in New York? Yep, there sure was. But here was the difference. When I changed that circle of friends and what I was doing and where I was hanging out and what I was going, and the things that I was up to, and I went down to North Carolina, and somebody said to me, you know, you want to get high? And I went, no, thanks. And they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yep. And they're like, okay, you know. But if I had done that in New York, it would have been like, well, dude, you got high last week. Why don't you want to get high now? Because I decided to stop. I even told everybody when I had my going away party, I'll be 100% honest. You want to hear what I did for my going away party from New York? I picked up an 8-ball of Coke. I had a bunch of weed, all the booze anybody wanted to drink. I had a big old going away party, partied it up all night with all my friends and did all that type of stuff because I knew that was my last hurrah. I woke up the next morning, and that morning I was packing my car and I was moving to North Carolina, right? What I did, I still had Coke left over. I still had weed left over. You know what I did with them? I flushed them down the toilet. I flushed it down. I dumped it in the toilet and I flushed the toilet. And I drove away and I moved down to North Carolina and I was down there for a year. And I made choices, different choices. And so, yeah, I mean, and it was like I had this big hurrah send off and had a great time that night. And, went on about my life and and changed things for the better. When I came back, I didn't hang out with the people I hung out with before. I didn't even want to come back. My one stepfather had attempted to murder my mother, and it was the only reason I came back to New York. I planned on being back there for 6 months, which turned into almost what 26 years or something like that. Crazy, but that happens. I had a chance to go back to school, went back to school, got my nursing degree. I got my nursing, degree in, just before I turned 30 years old, you know, but nobody was taking that away from me, you know, and, good decisions. And if I made bad decisions since then, yeah, sure. I mean, it happens. Things happen, but, It's always about the choices that we make, where we want to go, what we want to do, what we want to accomplish. But even as and if you ain't an addict, except you are an addict for life, that's why we love you. Well, you know what? It's just I'm honest to a fault. I've done, so many things that if I could go back and change it, I would. I would, but I can't. So it's things that have happened. It's made me who I am now, and what the true catalyst, what changed me, and I can honestly say this without a doubt, and my buddy Steve would say the same thing. When I became a father, when I became a father, you know why? When I became a father, it wasn't about me anymore. Up to that point, it was about me. It's what I wanted. Whatever I wanted to do, whatever I wanted, wherever I wanted to go, any of that stuff. It was always about what I wanted because I had no responsibilities. I didn't have any. When the twins were born, that completely changed. Completely changed because then it wasn't about me anymore. It was about them. And I can honestly say the greatest accomplishment that I have ever done in my life is my children, and you know that's just that's it. Anything else doesn't come close. Uh, being a father and being there for my kids, that was more important to me than anything else, and still is. Doesn't change just because they're grown now. It doesn't make it doesn't change. I talk to Heather every single day. I don't talk to Eddie as much, but I still talk to Eddie on a regular basis, and you know that's my accomplishment because they're good kids, they're good people, they're good young adults, I guess, because they're always going to be my kids, but they're young adults now. They're good, and I think that's important that you try to set a good example. Uh, I think that one of the keys to me, I was not trying to be my kid's friend. I was not my kid's friend. Now, my relationship with my children is different now because they're adults, so it's different. But when they were kids, they were the kids. They were my kids, and it was my way or the highway. Period. You need to be in control. You need to be that authority, and you know what? They're well-adjusted young adults, and polite, hardworking, and that's what it's about to me. So, but ovarian cancer didn't allow me to become a mother, so I'm a fur baby mommy. Nothing wrong with that, Janet. Nothing wrong with that at all. No, and things happen. I mean, it's you things like I've talked to you guys before, okay, and I'm gonna give an so like I have like all this life experience of all this chaotic craziness in my life. And when my ex-wife decided that she didn't want to be married anymore and she left, and we talked, and I said, "Do you want to try to work it out?" And she said, "No." I said, "Okay, what are you going to do? What are you going to do at that point? They don't want to work it out. You do what you got to do. You move on with your life, and you just go from there." Uh, are there ladies ready for all winter without you in New York? Well, they're going to have to be, Pam. They're squared away as far as that goes, but they're going to have to be. But yeah, I just like I said, it's I don't know, I just when she decided to go her separate ways at the time, I was devastated, absolutely devastated. I lost what did I lose 20 pounds in 22 days. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I was a mess, absolute complete mess. And at the time, it was the worst possible thing that could have happened. And I look back now, and I'm not, and I don't, please don't take this as I'm slamming my wife or trying to, or ex-wife and trying to say anything horrible. But looking back, the biggest favor my ex-wife ever did, in hindsight, was leave. You know, because I still ended up with my kids. Her influence with what she was doing with her choices in life were not affecting them anymore, and so it ended up, being a better situation. But At the time, it was devastating. It was absolutely devastating. But life is life, and you got to go on. When she said, "Nope, I don't want to be with you, and I want to get divorced, and that's it," I went, "Okay." It's not what I wanted, but what are you going to do? You can't make somebody love you who doesn't love you. So, we got divorced, and I will tell you this, and this is in all honesty, I will always be in love with my ex-wife, always, and she will have a special part of my heart always. Now, would I ever take her back? Never, never. Okay, that bridge has sailed. It's gone. A lot of things happened afterwards. You can't go back and try to fix something that's broken. You just can't. So now, if somebody else came along, would I be willing to get involved with somebody? Of course. You know, she would have to be something special. You know what I mean? But like I said, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens when it should. So, did she ever want to get back together? No, no, she never asked. No, no, I'm going to tell you what. I know she regrets her decision. That I know for a fact. I see that regret, and I see that in her eyes every time I see her. Okay. No, never say never. No, I can tell you this right now, Indigo. Uh, I would never be back with the kid's mom. No, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you guys how I am. All right, and this is how I've been when I'm in a relationship with somebody. I am all, or I am nothing. Period. And once that is done, and it's over, you can't. It's done. You know what I mean? It's done. And so that's how I've always been. So you either get 100% of me, or you get nothing. And so when she made her choice, and that's what she wanted, and I went, you respect those wishes, and I went on and continued to do everything that I told her I was going to do, and her life continued to spiral out of control. I feel bad. I wish she could be happy. I don't think she ever will be. I really don't. And it's too bad, But like I said, it's just no. I would never go back. Mm-mm. So Billy the Kid, I always will. You have to understand something, okay? My ex-wife was the love of my life. She was the love of my life. I mean, um, I can't even begin to tell you how much I was in love with this woman. When we got married, I was crying. I couldn't get the words out, like you're doing your vows. I was so emotional, and I was just so, yeah, I was a mess, but it was just, you know, and but it's okay. I mean, it's just, it didn't work out, which is unfortunate. And what do you want, So, but I just, it's interesting. Life is interesting. But yeah, she will always have a piece of my heart. There's a couple other women that I had met through the years that will also always have a piece of my heart. But that it happens, and I like to try to look back on the good times and the good memories that we had, and that's what I try to focus on when I think back. But we had a lot of fun. We did, and yeah, and we'll always be tied together with the kids, right? And here's the other part of it: if the kids weren't involved, I would never see her again. I would have never saw her again, which would have probably been easier. It probably would have been easier. But every time I go to pick up my son, I got to go to his mother's house. That's where she's at. So I'm always civil. I'm not going there to fight. I'm not looking to go there to cause trouble. So like I said, though, we've been apart 11 years already. It's 11 years. So, but anyway, so it sounds like you're still not over it. It's okay, brother. We're here for you. Oh no, I was over it a long time ago, JJ. I really was. Uh, it was a very, like, when my ex and I went our separate ways, I didn't date for 2 years. I did not date for two. I couldn't. I couldn't. And so, and I've had girlfriends along the way since then, but you know, it happens. Hey, Hunter guy, I'm late to the show, but did you talk about how the president exchanged? Yes, we did. The lady for knowingly for marijuana instead of an old former Marine veteran. Yep, I saw that as well. Yeah, it's one of the first things we talked about, Hunter guy, and I talked about the disgust of that we would trade an arms dealer for a piece of crap basketball player that knowingly brought drugs into a country. So, yeah, I have a lot of issues with that, and we leave a veteran behind. So, but thank you very much for the donation, and yeah. So if you want to go back and watch the beginning of the stream, you'll see that drugs being a vape pen. If you are going into a country, all right, and I'm going to say this again, all right, Billy Kid Norwood, I'm going to say it again. If you go into a country that they have hash, marijuana, vape pens, whatever, and it's illegal, and you should know that as an adult, a responsible adult, knowing what you're going into that country, right? You should know better. You should know better ahead of time. So, whose fault is it? Is she an innocent victim? She's not. So, I'm sorry. I had zero empathy for her before, and I will always have zero empathy for her. And she'll come back here, and I can almost see it now. She will complain about how she had spent too long over there, and why didn't they get her out sooner? You watch and see, guys. All right, but at the same time, where's the compassion? Where's the empathy? Where's the sympathy for this Marine who's been locked up since 2018? Who's got their Christmas tree up? Ed, are you decorating a tree, spending holidays in New York with the ladies? No, I'm not going to be doing a tree. I'm in the camper, so I'm not going to do a tree. We never did a tree once we got out to the property because we had a small space and too many cats, and the cats would be doing that. I don't plan on going back to New York for Christmas this year. No, I'm not going to be going back. When I was up there in November, I probably told them, well, I didn't probably, I told them I probably wouldn't be coming back until the spring. So March or April is when I'll be making my next trip up to New York. That's kind of what my thought process is right now. Um, you know, Ed, remind me to talk to you about the Marine tomorrow. Okay, Mark, no problem. But yeah, we had all day. We got all day. But yeah, no, when the kids were little, I did a tree every year, put a tree up every year, and did the whole thing because I thought it was important. When the kids got older, like I said, we had a small house. I mean, small place, and the cats would destroy the tree if we put a tree up, and there was no place to put it. And Mark said he isn't what you think he is. Okay, all right. Well, we'll talk about that. But I still wouldn't have freed Mark, no matter what. I still wouldn't have freed an arms dealer for Brittany Griner. That I would not have done, no matter what. So that's just my take on that. So, well, isn't it okay? So we got to talk about this, guys. We got to talk about this. Let me see if Heather's texted me back yet. I have not gotten a text back from her. Uh-oh, we might not be doing an egg count tonight if I don't get a message back from her. All of these celebrities, all these celebrities leaving Twitter. Oh, heartbreaking, heartbreaking. Guess what? I don't care. I don't care if none of you entitled gated community pieces of crap in California, and I'm not talking about all of California, I'm just talking about the Hollywood elite. I Can Prep 2 gifted 5 memberships. Well, thank you very much for doing that for people. That was very nice of you. Thank you. Um, who cares if they leave Twitter or they don't leave Twitter? You know what? Because Elon Musk has decided to come out with information that Twitter was suppressing certain groups of people. Like we didn't know that already, but now he's confirmed it. They don't like that. They don't like the fact that he wants to have it so that people can have their own opinion and post it there, you know? And it was funny because it's like, what did you see on the liberal news media? Oh, all the hate is up, and the use of the N word and the use of this and the use of that. It's skyrocketing on Twitter, and it ended up being what, maybe 100 accounts, and it was probably trollish individuals, and they got shut down themselves. So Elon is going to market that brain chip one way or another and contribute to the world, whether you existent revolves around it. Well, I don't know what he's doing. So, you know, Griner worked in Russia for the basketball team, so she knew the laws. Being in jail was on her. Absolutely, absolutely. How many people? So here's a question I have for you guys. How many people are out there, right? Made a mistake, maybe legitimately or not legitimately made a mistake, ended up in jail because of drugs, one way or another, right? Are they getting a free pass? Are they getting let out? Do they have people screaming at the hilltops, "Oh, poor me. This is unfair. This should not be the case." No, because nobody cares. But because you put a ball in a basketball hoop, you're more important, you know? So here's another question I have for you. Let's talk about the cancel culture, right? Let's talk about the cancel culture. And I'm going to give another good example of something. And this person wasn't canceled. And my question is, why the double standard, right? If somebody comes on, let's see. Let me give an example. Okay, all right, give a great example. I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboy fan. Anybody that watches the channel knows that. I've been a Cowboy fan since I was about 9 years old. Jerry Jones, a picture comes out when he was 15 years old. 15 years old, what, 60 something years ago? 67, I think it was. All right. Of him is a 15-year-old young man standing there around while they were trying to block the blacks from coming into the school, right? He was there, right? And he basically said, well, I was there to see what was going on, curiosity, whatever the case may be, right? Boy, they want him canceled. You got all the different ones, LeBron James, why isn't this in the news, and blah, 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 right? Like none of us ever made mistakes when we were kids or in the wrong place at the right time. We're not going to talk about that. Kathy Griffin, Kathy Griffin, the comedian, right, was holding up a severed replica head of the then president, Donald Trump, right? Was she canceled? Was she shut down? What happened there? How is that? How was that against a standing president? How was that okay? Ed, you should come up with some fun perks for all membership levels, like custom emojis or something simple. Well, I'll see what I can do. I can prep too. Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. Thank you very much for the donation, and again, thank you for giving out some memberships. That was very nice of you to do so. Yeah, somebody, John, just said selective shutdowning. Exactly. If one group does it, that's perfectly fine. If one group burns and loots and attacks the police and hurts people, that's perfectly fine. If the other side does it, oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world. And the secession and trying to overthrow the government and all those type of things. It's just, it gets really, really old. It gets really, really old. You know, here's my thing. If you're going to make up rules, make them up for everybody. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Trudeau. So let's talk about that, Mary Taylor. So Trudeau, while he was in high school, this I love. This I love. So Trudeau, while he was in high school, did blackface in high school. When he was, I don't know if he was in college or if he was um, a professor at the time. He was in a play, and he did brown face because he was portraying a Arabian character. Right. This piece of crap got called out because he did blackface in high school because of a play. It was a play, right? If I am a white dude and I am portraying a black character, would I not put on blackface, right? If I'm pretending to be black, right? It makes sense, right? Yeah, it's called makeup, exactly. So anyway, so this piece of garbage, and that's what I think he is because of the way he acts, what he's done to his own people in Canada, comes on there crying like a little girl. Oh, I'm so sorry that I did this. This was wrong. And you're a freaking actor. He was acting in high school in being and he did the Arabian part. He was acting. It wasn't like he was walking around pretending to be black or doing all that type of stuff. It wasn't anything like that. But yet he's going to get on there and apologize for that. He's an idiot. I'm sorry. I would never apologize for something like that. No way. No way. Yeah, the movie Soul Man with C. Thomas. How about White Chicks? Anybody remember that movie? Right, with the Wayne brothers? Yes, there we go. Kit just put that one up there. Yeah. Have they been called out? Did they have to come out and apologize that not only were they pretending to be white, but they were also pretending to be women? How dare them? How horrible. So stupid. It is beyond ridiculous with the cancel culture that we have today. Yeah, we got the one lady for the NAACP who lied and said she was black when she was white. Yeah. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Exactly. You know, it's just, yeah, he was a drama teacher. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, he's all full of drama, isn't he? And here's the other, like I said, I talked about him the other day. And like I said, guys, I could do the same thing with our president that we have right now, Joe Biden. I could do the same thing all day long, you know, the whole thing. But when he came out was talking about China and how that it was, okay for them, they should be able to allow to protest. But then he, shut down the protest in Ottawa because heaven forbid he can't have that in his own country, right? So it's just they're all full of crap, guys. Politicians in general. I can't do the egg count, Billy the Kid Norwood. I don't know. Heather never got back to me. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did she? Ah, she did. Okay, finally. Well, I texted her early and she never got back, and I just texted. Okay, so egg count time. So, well, don't get me rolling. So, anyway, egg count and how many eggs, yes or no, for thick neck. So, we'll give you guys a minute. Give you guys just a moment to get your guesses up there. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, guys, please do so to show the support for the channel. And I thank you for that. And it really does make a difference with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. And also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right. So let me just make sure where we were at here. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right, that's what I thought. Okay, if you had these same exact guests as John McGill. You guys want to get rid of those porn bots, please? Thank you very much. If you had the same exact guess as John McGill with 0 eggs today, you are 100% correct. He was the first one with the right answer. So, congratulations, John. You've won absolutely nothing. So, bragging rights. You got bragging rights until the next live stream. So, yeah, it's a lot of you had 0, which, like I said, they have not been laying very much at all. Maybe they're mad that I'm not there no more. That's why they're not laying. I love the girls. I go out. I used to talk to them all the time. So I miss my chickens. I will tell you that right now. I do miss the chickens. But yeah, I just we have things are such a mess. We're giving billions and billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine, weapons, all those type of things. And here's the worst part. Here's the worst part for that. Now, if the government's going to do what it's going to do, but there's no accountability. They don't know where the money goes, who spent it, who has it, who doesn't have it. So when you're talking over $40 billion and there's no accountability of where that money went, how is that okay? Will you get chickens in West Virginia in the spring? I may. I'm going to have to get a chicken coop put together, obviously first. But yeah, that's something that may happen. Yep. Nope, you don't need a rooster to have eggs. You need a rooster to fertilize eggs, and a rooster with the hens also he protects the hens as well. So they know where the money went. Many of them got a cut. Wouldn't shock me one bit, to be honest with you. Wouldn't shock me one bit. As the corruption in governments, and I notice I say governments, it is so unbelievable, and that I can't understand. I don't know how. Again, why are more people not up in arms? Why are more people not flipping out with everything that's gone on? How did gas now? So oil prices are coming down, and so gas prices are coming down a little, but not enough. Why is that not coming down? Ed, will you have another get together this coming summer? I hope to, Miss T. I do hope to. If everything works out okay, yes, I would like to. I would like to do that. So I have a chicken coop that I just bring a trailer and you can have it, and I put roughly 500 into it on a 4x4, 4x8. Yeah, well, I appreciate that. It's that first of all, I have to know where you were, but yeah, I definitely do want to get chickens again down here, but I want to have a good run for them, and then I want to definitely have a dog run around that. I think that made a big difference with the chickens not being attacked by predators because the dogs were in that area. So, but I think her alternative lifestyle played a part for her release from for political points. Yeah, they all just they suck up. They all suck up. Oh, you're in Michigan? That's a bit of a drive. That's a bit of a drive. It'd probably be cheaper for me to go buy a chicken coop than come up to Michigan and get one and then drive it back. Just saying. But no, I do appreciate the offer though. But I'll tell you guys, it's just it never ceases to amaze me with everything that's going on. It really doesn't. I can't believe that more people, like I said, are not up in arms, that are not flipping out with everything that's gone on, with everything that's been going on, with the price of fuel, the price of heating oil, the price of propane, the price of food. Look how ridiculous food has gotten. I mean, it's just to go and try to buy food now is ridiculous. I mean, you really have, you can't, it's tough. And we have a lot of people out there living paycheck to paycheck, or they're living on credit cards. I mean, that happens too. And that can only go on for so long. That can only go on for so long. And, just like, I get reprimanded every time I say this administration needs to be replaced. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm sure. I am sure. But, it's just, you look at the situation with everything, and it's a slow degrading of our society. When things are forced upon you that you don't want, when you are forced to, if you don't believe in somebody else's lifestyle, I believe that that's your right to believe that. If you don't want to wait on them, if you have a business like a catering business, or you make cakes or whatever, and I'll use gay couples as an example. And if you decide you don't want to bake a cake for a gay couple, that's your choice. It's your business. You have the right to refuse. It's just like when you walk into a store, right? If you walk into a store and the sign on the door says "No shirt, no shoes, no service," right? uh, that's a choice. And if you go in there with no shirt on and you expect to be waited on, there's a sign on the door that says if you don't have a shirt on, you're not getting waited on. It's very simple, right? It's a business, it's their business. They have a choice to make the rules. You have a choice to either abide by them or not abide by them. It's very simple. During the height of the pandemic, guys, one of the favorite places I like to go, I had walked in, right? And I did not have a face diaper on, and I wasn't planning on wearing a face diaper. And the lady was like, "Well, if you don't have a mask on, we're not going to serve you." And I went, "Okay, have a nice day." And I walked out of the store. Simple, simple. Okay. If you're not going to wait on me unless I comply with something that I don't believe in, then I have a choice. You have a choice. You can say, "We won't wait on you unless you do this." And I can say, "Well, thank you very much." And I didn't flip out. I didn't act like a jerk. I left. Period. Simple. Okay. And I sent my daughter in. Well, she was wearing one. So I just gave her the money and I said, "Okay, you get it. But I'm not going to stand in there. I'm not doing it. But, you know, um, it's what happened. I want you guys to think about this and really think about this. All right. What is the best way? What is the best way to control kids? Right? They do it at schools. They do it at schools. So how do you get kids to go along with what you want and against what your parents want? You put in these draconian laws that you have to have that on your face when you go to school, and you have to be so many feet apart, and you got like the plastic crap all around the cubicles and all that type of stuff, right? So they teach these kids that this we are the law. This is what you have to do, and so they do it. I told you guys a story, and you know, and I've said things out and about, and I probably just should have shut up different times, and I didn't, but I probably should have shut up. It's not in my nature. I'll be honest with you. And so Heather and I had gone out for a motorcycle ride, and we had stopped and we were eating ice cream, right? And we're sitting outside and we're eating our ice cream, and here comes the father into the grocery store with his probably 6-year-old daughter. I think she probably was 6, and she tugs him on the hand and she goes, "Dad, Dad, Dad, you don't have your mask on." And he goes, "Oh, oh." So they go back to the car, right? And he gets the mask, and as they're coming back in, I make the comment, "Boy, the brainwashing runs deep." And he goes, "What?" I said, "She's so brainwashed because of school about wearing a mask, and you just went ahead and did it too." And he looked at me, and and I'll never, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Shut up." And then I said a 2-letter word to him. The second word ended with U, and the first word started with F. And so then he looks at me and he goes, "F you," right? So then he goes into the store, And to me, okay, that's the end of it. I don't care. I let it go because that's, whatever. They come out of the store, and I felt bad for the little girl. I will. And I'll tell you this, because when they came out of the store, he never looked at me at all. He held onto her hand, and he was walking a beeline towards, his car. And she was looking, like, over her shoulder, kept looking back at me. And so I felt bad for that because I embarrassed her father in front of her. Wasn't my intention. But the point I was making, and the point I'm making to you guys is, these kids are being brainwashed in schools to comply, do as you're told, don't question authority, all these type of things, okay? And so again, going back to my childhood, I was a nonconformist. I've always been a nonconformist. I would say that was inappropriate in front of a child. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. It was. You're right. I like I said, I can prep too. I don't disagree with you. It was inappropriate. I shouldn't have said nothing at that point in time. You're 100% right. So, so the point I'm making is, like I said, I wouldn't follow the rules back when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? So I always questioned authority. I always thought for myself, and didn't go along with the crowd and all that type of stuff. When I was the last school that I was in, the guys all wore Nikes. I never bought a pair of Nikes. If I had to wear sneakers for gym, I had a different brand because I wasn't going to have what everybody else had. All right. Uh, I was a jeans and t-shirt guy. I had long hair when they all had short hair. So, I was definitely not the guy going along with the crowd. I never was. So, yeah, brainwashing didn't work for me neither, Sonya. So, and what, like I said, they don't like that. So, they want good, obedient sheep, and that's what they're teaching our kids. And I know a lot of people have pulled their kids out of schools strictly because of those reasons, and said, yeah, you know what, no more of this, and they've gone to homeschooling, and you can't blame them. I don't blame them, you know. Like, and going back to what I had said, and how I probably shouldn't have said that in front of that child. Um, but I don't always make the right decisions in the spur of the moment. Something pops into my head, and there's usually here not much of a filter, and it just comes spewing out. So it was that old saying, diarrhea of the mouth. Yeah, it's been known to happen. So, but all right, let's do some shout outs. So we're gonna start with Icky Can up in Canada. I would ask you to go and support him. He's a really decent guy. You have Angry Prepper Jason down in New York City, another really good guy. Alaska Prepper Rudy, who's in Alaska. And you're probably like, well, yeah, you said Alaska Prepper. Yeah, but how many times have I said he was in Canada? Way too many. But he's in Alaska. So definitely go show Rudy some support. You have Alaska Granny. There is Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels, same guy, up in Canada, doing a lot of really cool stuff. Definitely check him out as well. North Shore Preparedness, also up in Canada. There is Corporal's Corner, Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There's Bizarrizza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. Really good series, so definitely check him out as well. You have Marfugal News out on the West Coast with Adam and Dax. Another really good channel, a lot of good information with them. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. Wrangle Star with Cody, another really good channel. A lot of good things out of his channel. Red Poppy Ranch. There's Survival Lily. You have Kyle's Cabin up in Minnesota with Kyle and Sierra. Nice young couple up there. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team. They split their time between Michigan and up in Alaska. Nice couple. Two different channels, a lot of good information on their channels. There is Green Greg's. You have Southern Prepper 1, Gray Man Prepping. There's St. Bernard Acres with Joe. You have Doug and Stacy. A lot of good information with their channel, so definitely should check them out as well. The Nomadic Movement down in Panama. You have the Green Dream Project out in Arizona. There's Camping with Steve Wallace up in Canada, doing stealth camping, just fun stuff to watch. There's Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works, The Needy Homesteader. You have Boss of the Swamp. There is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond is an amazingly smart guy. Definitely check him out. A lot of good information on his channel. You have Patera with Appalachian Homestead. There is City Prepper, Lumina Acres, Suspicious Observer, really good channel too. A lot of good information on that channel. Bear Independent, The Uneducated Economist. You have Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands in La Palma. There is Mary Greeley News, gives you all the latest updates on Yellowstone, the earthquakes, and all those type of things. There is Adapt 2030, Malachi's Corner. You have Ice Age Farmer. There is Ryan Hall Y'all. If you're going to get your weather, you need to get your weather from Ryan Hall Y'all. Really, really good channel. Really, really good guy. You have Russell Brand. I love Russell Brand because he makes you think, and I think that that is important if we're given the information and allowed to make our own assessment from that information that is given. He does that quite a bit. I think that that's awesome. You have Deep South Homestead. There's The Outsider. There's The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed, Townsend's. You have The Prepared Mind out in California. You have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness, The Economic Ninja, and Little House Off Gritty, who is also in Tennessee. So definitely check them out as well. I'm sure there's many other really good channels out there as well. So, like I said, I believe we should be supporting each other, and I think that's important to do so. So as long as we keep doing that, we're going to be really, really good. So, what do we got? Constant updates with Russia, Ukraine, news at The Real News. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you for that information. But yeah, there's a lot of good channels, a lot of good information, and I think it's important. You're very welcome, ADK man. It's important to look at diversified views, and I think that that's important. We should do that. You know, if you get all your news from one source, you're going to be getting the information that they want to give you. If you look at information from several different sources, different people's perspectives are different. So I think that's why I think it's really good to look at different viewpoints. It's good for a healthy debate as well. Have you considered building a connecting room onto the trailer? I absolutely have. I can prep too, and I may do that down the road. If I do that, I would put something out front here, and and have a wood stove in there, and then just have the door open and let that permeate into the camper. I would do it that way for sure. So, but yeah, it's like I said, there's a lot of good information out there, and I think, like I said, if we just keep an open mind, I know that's kind of difficult today, right? But there's a lot of good information out there. And what my favorite thing is when a news group gets called out for something, and it's proven that they were either fabricating, lying, or giving misinformation, but they never get in trouble for that because they're a certain slanted opinion. You know, it's I find that quite fascinating. Quite fascinating. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Come up. Come up and say hi. Come on. There's a girl. Yeah. Gonna say hi to everybody. The princess. I'm actually surprised she's been as quiet as she has for the most of the stream because literally we were fighting. Me and the dog. Were fighting. She was giving me a hard time, and I was telling her, "No, you're not doing that." But she likes to hang out and see if she can get any kind of food that she can get. Don't you? Huh? Do you do that? Do you? She's such a baby. But anyway, guys, like I said, one of the things I definitely, again, I'm always going to reiterate this. I'm going to say, continue to prep, continue to get ready. We have no idea how much time we're going to get. We never do. And so, whatever time that we have, if we use that in a positive way, prepare as best that we can, try to wake people up. You're a nut. You're a nut. Do I get a kiss? Kiss me? That a girl. Um, if we utilize the time that we have in a positive way and do positive things, try to help people, try to wake them up, I think that that's a good thing. I really do. So, but we never know. But when the time comes, again, and I've said this so many times, I don't know if she's pregnant or not. She's not appearing to be pregnant. If she was going to have babies, it would be in January, first week of January, and she is showing zero signs of being pregnant. So I don't think that she is. In the spring when she goes into heat again, I'm going to try to, if she's not, then what? What? Do you want to go outside? Uh? We have to wait. We have to wait. Oh my God, that's too funny. Hey, 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 hey. No, not right now. A little bit. In a little bit. I know it. See, this is what I was dealing with. This is what I was dealing with earlier before I went live. She's a very vocal dog. Very, very, very vocal. Now you have to wait. I don't care. I told you. Wait. When I'm done, listen. No, no. When I'm done, we'll go. When I'm done. Hey, no, no, enough. All right, let's do this. Oh my God. Uh, all right. So we are Legion. We are many. We are all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge network of people. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Dayton, Ohio's in the house. Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge. Franklin County, Ohio. We have Colorado with Kyle's in the house. Waterloo, New York. Inverness, Florida with Clyde is in the house. Ulster Park, New York. Bumstead, Florida. Missouri. Frankfort, Illinois. Connecticut. London. Michigan. Missouri and the Ozarks. St. Augustine, Florida. Relocated to Sacramento from Reno. Very nice. Somewhere in the Adirondacks. Tucson, Arizona. East Coast, Illinois. DeQuincy, Louisiana. Charlotte County, Florida. Fort Worth, Texas. Ontario, Canada. We got West Virginia's in the house. Austin, Texas. Topeka, Kansas. West Central, Ohio. Littleton, New Hampshire. The Blue Ridge Mountains. Kingman, Arizona, with Granny Prepper in the house. Glad to have you here. Silver Springs, Florida. Central Texas. Richmond, Indiana. We have Central Iowa's in the house. Let's see. Yeah, Philip's not here tonight. He's not generally on Fridays. We have Campbell, Missouri. Utica, New York. So again, guys, we are all over the place. We are a huge, huge network of people all over the country, and we're the ones that truly can make a difference now. We can make a difference down the road as well, and I think we should try to do so if we can. He's drinking in a pub. Yeah, he could be. You never know. But yeah, we're all over the place, and we are a huge family. We're the ones that are awake. We're the ones that can make a difference, and I think that we should try to do that if we can. Pamela's down here in West Virginia. Very nice. But I just ate half a Delta 9 gummy. Oh my God, that's too funny. We have Bay of Islands in Newfoundland. Oklahoma's also in the house with Gray. There's a lot more of us than that people realize. And with being prepared, it gives us such a huge advantage. And if we just continue to take advantage of that advantage, we're going to be in much, much better shape. So, I just realized how much my cats love the Christmas tree. They pooped out 6 feet of garland so far. Oh my God, that's too funny. Usually it's the dogs that eat all the garland, not the cats. So, but but yeah, I hope everybody, like I said, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope everybody continues to be safe, make progress, do something positive, and you're going to be good. Oh, we got another porn bot there, JJ. There you go. Perfect. Thank you. So, anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators again. I think they do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean, and they're amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, thank you very much for what you do. I want to thank all you guys for being here because without all you guys here, I would not be here either. So, I thank you for all the support, putting up with me in my one way opinionatedness. But I don't know, like I said, I don't know any other way to be. I don't apologize for my opinion. And I won't. Uh, I say it like it is, and I think some people don't like that either. you know, and that's okay. You don't have to like it. I mean, it's about respect. I respect your right to believe whatever you want to believe, even if you're wrong. But it's about respecting my right to believe, and I think that we could get along so much better if we together that way. I really, really, truly do. So, but anyway, guys, I am going to jump off of here for now. I hope you all have a very safe weekend. I hope you're productive. I'll try to get a bunch of video done tomorrow, and and show you our progress of what we're doing and what we got going on. And so we'll do that. I was going to tell you guys too the new the new internet that I just got is seemingly much much better. It's much faster with uploading videos, which is awesome. That's definitely a good thing because it was way way too long before. So it was nice to see that it's faster. So hopefully that'll be a good thing moving forward. All right. Remember, folks, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we could figure that one out, we will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, they use religion, they use political affiliation, they use the vaxxed and the unvaxxed. These are all tools used to keep us divided and fighting amongst each other because then they always win if we don't come together. When we come together, and I will use the yellow vest movement in France as a great example of that. When we come together and say no more, guess what? It changes. It changes. So we can do that here. Anybody can do that anywhere. You just got to be able to work together. So anyway, also remember, folks, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to accomplish, whatever you are trying to do, there's only one person that can stop you from achieving your goals, and that's you, period. Nobody else. So if you stay positive and stay away from the negativity, you're going to be just fine. All right. Uh, keep driving towards your dreams, make them happen, and set realistic goals. That's the important thing. You set realistic goals. If you get accomplished more than you had hoped, then it's a win. If you accomplish less than you had hoped, you still made an effort. Okay. So, as long as you achieve that goal down the road, as long as you get it done, that's what counts. So, anyway, guys, I hope everybody has a great night. Be safe. I will see you all tomorrow. Prepper Nurse One out for now.